Welcome to the Mr. Efection YouTube channel, and today is all about the 20,000 kilometers update of my Porsche Taycan. I hope you're enjoying the video, and today we are going to discuss about the delivery day, the issues I've had to this date, what options I would love to have right now, the true cost of my ownership with this car. It's now miserable o'clock, and we are slowly approaching the 20,000 kilometer mark in exactly 8 months and 2 days. It's now October 4th, still is October 4th, and there it is, 20,000 kilometer mark before midnight. The first topic I want to discuss is the delivery day. I took delivery about 8 months ago, 8 months and 1 day to be exact. Today is October 3rd, and I took delivery of this car on February 2nd. Initially it was spec'd with the turbo design wheels, the 20-inch wheels, and after exactly 10,000 kilometers I bought these Michelin wheels from a friend of mine who unfortunately broke his car in an accident, but he was not running these wheels. He was also running a 20-inch set because it was winter. Now the delivery day was one of my bucket list day. I loved that day, and unfortunately I wasn't able to film that much because I was just beginning with YouTube. But about this car, I spec'd it myself. As you see it right now, besides the 21-inch wheels, it has the Matrix LED lights, keyless entry, panoramic roof. I didn't want the option of electric charging port, but because it would hide the open vent here, and to have this open vent here and this open vent there, it will help with aerodynamics pretty much. Now let's talk about the issues I've had with the cars to this date. I will start with, in the first 500 kilometers I had this SOS error message because I live in Romania, and in Romania we don't have the SOS function right now to be working fully with the car. But to this moment the SOS light is green, so I think it's working by now. I'm not really aware of this issue so far, but that is what I started with in 2 days of ownership. So after that I started to have some blinkers issues, but after I actuated the blinkers, that error was gone. And the first and real issue I had was at 9,000 kilometers. I was driving and I had about 48% of battery. Suddenly the battery count went to 0, and I was having this message in the dashboard. After I stopped the car, I pressed the on and off button, and the yellow message turned to red. I called the dealership, they called the tow truck, and I've had the loaner BMW, as you all know if you watch this channel. I waited about 3 hours in the middle of the road, and when I wanted to lift the car up to the tow truck, I turned on the car, and then not a single issue. All the errors were gone. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but since then I've had only minor messages in my instrument cluster. I think I know the reason. And the main reason is the Porsche charger not working completely with this car. Every time I plug that charger, I get this electrical system fault. I wait around 30 minutes to an hour and the error is gone. But since the last error, I stopped using the Porsche charger, and since then I've had not a single issue. So this car worked flawless up until this date at 19,840 kilometers.
What's the matter with you? I don't even know what that means.
A quick update on that error message. So when I arrived home, I parked my car, and the moment I plugged the AC charger, I think it was not connected properly, because it started at 20 kilowatts and then it went down to 3 to 4 kilowatts and then showed the charging error message in my Porsche app. I went to the car and the error message was there in form of the yellow notification. I unplugged the car and I plugged it again. It was completely fine. I waited around 40 minutes to an hour to charge to 50%, and then I unplugged the car. I left it for around 30 minutes and right now it's completely fine. I've made the 10,000 kilometers update. If you want to watch it, you can click here. And that was the day where I introduced these wheels. This is the Michelin design wheels, and contrary of what Porsche says, it works perfectly with the basic braking system. It has the 21-inch summer wheels in the PCM, so I don't know what might be wrong with rocking 21-inch wheels in this setup. If you configured a Taycan before, you might know that you can configure the 21-inch wheels without getting the PCSBs. Up until this date, this setup was perfect, but last week I hit a pothole and a bulge appeared right on this spoke on the right front wheel. I've ordered a new tire. The tire is already here, and I will be fitting that ASAP because the bulge started to get bigger and bigger. Now let's talk about the exterior condition. When I've made the 10,000 kilometers update, I showed you there that these side skirts start to chip right over here. So far, I don't find this case to be happening. The chips are starting to pile up and I don't see it anymore. But this side skirt basically looks as it looked in the 10,000 kilometers update. The only wear sign that happened after the 10,000 kilometers update, if you open the driver's door, you will find the driver's seal to be rubbing in the lower part. That might be because the actual door is not properly aligned. I called the dealership and they told me they will replace that under warranty. I'm aware that if you don't align this door properly, the issue will appear again. So it needs a door alignment and a new rubber seal. Black trims are still as new because I really took good care while I'm washing the car. So if you guys see in the B-roll, basically how I wash my car, the first half I will put a harder solution just to rinse wash the debris and not get any swirl marks, but to protect the upper part of the body, I just put normal soap or pH neutral soap, because for these trims to stay as new as possible, you need to really take good care of, as well as this middle part right here. Now let's take a look at the interior of the car after 19,840 kilometers. Let's start with the driver's seat. As you all know, I love to take care of my car, and every week I detail this car to the absolute limit, as well as taking some sort of passive care of the car in the form that every time I enter, I would put my left hand here and I would fly my butt over the side part of the seat, because I really want to keep this part as not worn as possible. Now if you see, this part looks perfect, and this is how it would be looking if you guys would take care as well. The only flaw, as you guys saw in the 10,000 kilometers update, is this little part right here. It's my fault. I was wearing a pair of jeans and I wasn't really paying close attention, and these few seconds really cost me the perfection of my seat. Continuing with the steering wheel, it looks basically brand new because I really want to keep it like that in this matte finish. And how I do that, I basically clean it with just a wet towel. The rest of the interior looks, as you guys would know, not too much wear on this side, and the entrance is clean, as clean as possible. The floor mat looks basically perfect because I washed them previous to this video, as well as this part right here. It looks pretty good. Of course, the piano black started to have some light scratching, as you guys see right here. The screen doesn't have any single scratch, as well as the other three right there. And now let's continue with the passenger side. The passenger side looks just as good as the driver side. I really care how my passenger gets in the car, but sometimes she forgets, and it started to have just a little crease right here. And sorry that I forgot, but on my driver's side it started to have just a little crease over there. I don't know if you guys see it, but it started at around 17,000 kilometers. The passenger seat has only on that side, and the rest is just perfect. This B-pillar plastic kind of took a little bit of the pound because it started to have some scratches because of Porsche's jackets. I don't really care because this is easily replaceable, and the floor mat looks basically perfect. And this is how the interior looks. The dash panel is perfect. This part right here is flawless as well. And another annoying thing that I have is here. I don't know what really happened there. Now let's continue with the back seats. These seats have never seen any activity, only on my Budapest trip, so around 3 days of use. My passengers told me that if I didn't have the panoramic roof, those seats would be a disaster at long trips. So be very aware of that. If you carry passengers on a daily basis, you should option the panoramic roof. But if you guys don't really drive with a lot of passengers, I would skip that panoramic roof because I really took very good care of where I parked the car. But if I would not take care, this glass would shatter, and it's way worse than having a small dent in my aluminum. The Alcantara looks just as good as new. Now to the more interesting part of this video, what I regret not optioning on this car after my experience with it. And this topic will help the new buyers and the buyers that did not lock the options. First one is the Sport Plus 6, and I will tell you the reasoning why I haven't made that choice in the beginning. From the photos, the Sport Plus seats looked more like a Audi S-Line seat, but now after 20,000 kilometers I will happily option the Sport Plus seats again because it has more support and they look kind of better now, but these ones look perfectly fine so far, and I completely love the look of the car. They look a bit sleeker, a bit more modern, I should say, and the red leather really makes this car look more premium in my opinion. Another option I would highly suggest you should pick is the Sport Design package, and more specifically the carbon design package, because it would add a carbon splitter right here, and also in the back it would add some very nice design elements over here. I will retrofit them myself, and you should see that on YouTube very shortly. The most important feature you should have on the car is the 360 camera view, because this car is huge. It's incredibly big, especially for me coming from more than mid-sized car. This is the Mercedes CLS. This car felt quite big for me, and at first 2 weeks it was pretty hard for me to even parallel park and even side parking. Right now is completely fine, but I should take that option in a heartbeat. Another option I should check is the storage package under the main central display. It would add sort of an area where you can put your keys or your phone. I find that place to be quite useless now, and you should definitely think of that storage package. The last thing is the color. If I would spec my car again, I should definitely think more about the color, because white is incredibly beautiful, is the launch spec. This is how I dreamed of the car to be looking, but if I would spec again, I would choose the crayon instead of white, or at least the Carrara white, as Porsche enthusiasts used to love the color. My future plans with the car is to retrofit the front splitter, as well as adding the carbon fiber mirror caps and the rear bumper with the carbon blades to be looking more like a turbo, not really a basic rear wheel drive or 4S spec. I would not really like the white blades here, because a friend of mine already has the Porsche Turbo, and it already has the white blades, but I find that to be looking a bit not to my taste, if I should mention that. Now let's talk about maintenance and the cost of running the Porsche Taycan. On my phone here I have the more or less accurate calculations, and sorry for me to read out of my phone, but the first appointment is at 30,000 kilometers. So far I haven't made any single service entrance in the dealership, but let's count that first service of 500 euros. In 20,000 kilometers, I've consumed 4,200 kilowatts, and let's multiply that by 0.6 cents per kilowatt, and it equals to around 2,500 euros. My Mercedes CLS, which is a 3-liter diesel, would consume 25 full tanks of diesel, and the prices for every 90 liters will be 3,600 euros of fuel. That on its side is a major cost benefit. Now let's continue. At 15,000 kilometers you need an oil change for every single ICE car that you have, and the oil change would cost me around 200 euros. Now let's add the 500 euros yearly tax that I have in my country, and we end up at 4,300 euros. I've already changed my gearbox oil for another 500 euros, and as I've told you, the first service would be 500 euros for just a brake fluid flush, changing the wipers and changing a cabin filter. Now the CLS would cost me right now 4,300 euros just to run the car, and the Taycan would cost me, including that first service, 3,000 euros. I don't know how you made your math, but that seems like incredible for this amount of car. It's a Porsche, it drives like a true Porsche, and it looks amazing. Everyone takes photos of it, everyone looks at it, and they love the sound this car makes at night, especially at night, because it's more quiet and the sound really travels through the street. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I helped you in the decision of making the purchase of the Porsche Taycan. So far everything is perfect. I love it to bits, and I would see you guys at the 30,000 kilometers update. Until then, please watch my series of Know Your Taycan, and I should see you guys next time. Ciao!